Hi, welcome to this edition of Entrepreneur's Edge TV. Boxing gloves, right? You wonder? Well, I just happen to think they're really cute. No, but really this segment is about the boxing business. And so we're going to find out what it's like to be a boxer, talk to a real boxer, and try to understand the world of boxing. And we will talk to a guy who owns Umar's Gym. And when we come back, he'll explain what Umar's Gym is and why boxers may be some of the smartest people you know. Stay tuned, we'll be back.
Sweeten the season with tailgate treasures and after-game treats. Fans will love mini football-shaped rice cereal treats created with cookie cutters and piped-on decorations. Or go for the Big Win version molded in a 1st and 10 football pan. Cover all bases with sporting fun cupcakes. Decorations highlighting various sports can be fielded in green icing pull-out grass. Customize with team colors and players' numbers on Jersey-licious cookies. The punch, cut, decorate method makes it easy. For more everyday celebration ideas, visit Wilton.com. Experts at the Centers for Disease Control have some eye-opening news. Insufficient sleep is linked to an increased risk for several diseases. Sleep duration and quality have emerged as predictors of an important marker of blood sugar control, a factor in type 2 diabetes. In addition, persons with sleep apnea, severe snoring, have been found to be at increased risk for hypertension, stroke, coronary heart disease, and irregular heartbeats. Laboratory research has also found that short sleep duration may be linked to obesity. This association has been found in all age groups, but particularly in children. It is believed that sleep in childhood and adolescence is particularly important for brain development, and that insufficient sleep in youngsters may adversely affect the region of the brain which regulates appetite. There may also be a relationship between sleep and depression. Recent research has indicated that depressive symptoms may decrease once sleep apnea has been effectively treated and sufficient sleep restored. You can learn more online at cdc.gov.
Hi, we are back with more of our boxing segment, the boxing business. And I'm here with our guest, Marvin McDowell, who owns Umar's Gym. Hi, Mr. McDowell. Thank you for talking with me today.
Thank you for
Absolutely. I love the sport, and I like watching it. Of course, I think that I might want to be a boxer now. I don't know. But let's talk about who you are and the history of Marvin McDowell and the background in Umar's Boxing.
Well, as you said, my name is Marvin McDowell. I'm the founder, president, and executive director of the Umar Boxing Youth Development. No books before books. We're one of the first boxing programs possible in the world with a legitimate educational component, where the boxing and the books are going at the same time under one roof. No one associates boxing and thinking, but to be a good boxer, you have to be a good thinker.
Yeah, I was going to say, I hear that boxers are some of the smartest people that we know. Why is that?
Well, with boxing, you have to have a strategy. You have to counter. It takes a thinking person to be a good boxer. And some of the best boxers, if you just take and observe them, you can actually see them making the moves and thinking in the ring. And they take those same things on the outside. You got a bright, smart person. Okay,
so let's talk a little bit about your program, how to get started, why to get started.
My program was started in 1996. During that time in 96, I was inducted to the Maryland Boxing Hall of Fame, and I always wanted to start my own boxing gym because I couldn't understand why there was only one black boxing gym in the city, and that was Mr. Mac Lewis' gym over the east side.
Is that gym still running today?
Okay. Gym is a foundation now. He passed away a couple of years ago, and he took it up and doing real good with it.
Okay, so you got into boxing and you started your program. Why?
Well, I started my program because I really felt that it was a need. A lot of the kids were there getting in trouble, doing crazy things.
Now, what do you say is crazy, and what kind of trouble?
Well, a lot of the kids were selling drugs, not going to school, stealing.
So not the right activities after school. Right. Okay. And so why did you pick up, want to help these kids and form this gym? How is this helping them today?
Well, the gym is helping them because, especially with the educational component that we have, the kids that's 13 and under, it's mandatory for them to be in an educational program before they come to the boxing.
Okay.
And it's no hooks before books, where I use the boxing to draw the kids in. Once I get them in, education is mandatory.
Okay, so it's mandatory through your program.
That's right.
Who is Marvin McDowell? Let's talk about who you are and your background and why this is so important to you.
Well, Marvin McDowell is a person who cares. Marvin McDowell is a person that want to change these kids' frame of mind and get them thinking and doing good, positive things. These kids are lost, and we're trying to be a guiding light to help bring them back. You know, the drugs, the crime, and stuff that's going on here, you know, is not right. And we have to be an example of what they should be. You know, they don't know the way. They can't raise themselves. You know, my thing is, I have a saying that we want to put the gloves down, put the guns down, put the gloves up. You know, in the boxing gyms, we all can win. Let's work it out. You know, all these people and all these kids thought the way that I'm thinking, Baltimore would be a safer place and society would be better. You know, these kids need help, and we're here to help them. And anything that we can do to make a change in their life and make a difference in their life, come to Umar. Umar means life. And we want to put life back into the community and give these kids a lifetime of experiences that will last them a lifetime. Just give yourself a chance, and we got to help teach these kids how to give themselves a chance.
Okay. Marvin, it was my pleasure. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to seeing Dante Baytop when we come back, and I think you guys might like him too. Thank you for your time. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be back.
Sweeten the season with tailgate treasures and after-game treats. Fans will love mini football-shaped rice cereal treats created with cookie cutters and piped-on decorations. Or go for the Big Win version molded in a 1st and 10 football pan. Cover all bases with sporting fun cupcakes. Decorations highlighting various sports can be fielded in green icing pull-out grass. Customize with team colors and players' numbers on Jersey-licious cookies. The punch, cut, decorate method makes it easy. For more everyday celebration ideas, visit Wilton.com.
And we are here with one of my, my gal pal, my friend, girl power, Franshawn Cruz, aka the heavy-hitting diva. Hi, Franshawn.
Janice, how you doing? Long time no see, but
yeah, well, you know, we're busy. We're all busy.
Yes.
So let's talk about who is Franshawn Cruz.
Well, Franshawn Cruz is a variety of different women. Rest in peace to Whitney Houston. But I think that song, I'm Every Woman, embodies who Franshawn Cruz is. I'm a daughter. I'm a single mother to a cat.
Oh my goodness.
I'm an elite boxer, a singer. You know, I'm an inspiration to others, and you know, I'm an impressionable person. I get inspired by others too.
So let's talk about Franshawn Cruz, the boxer. How'd you get inspired to become a boxer going into the boxing industry?
Well, boxing found me. I did not plan to be a boxer. I used to fight on the streets. I have all brothers, so you know I grew up being tough. But when I was 16 years old, I was introduced to boxing through 2 other male boxers. My original goal was to be a singer, and my mentor at the time, Milroy, he told me I needed to lose weight because, you know, in the singing industry.
Milroy Herod, for those of you that don't know. If you don't, you will. Okay.
You know, in the singing industry, there's certain standards, and at that time, I was a little, you know, chubby, 205 pounds, and he said, you need to do something to lose weight. And, you know, chance had it. I met the guys, and he took me to the gym, and once I went to the gym, I never left.
Okay. So, okay, you're 16, and so now you're introduced to boxing, and so let's talk about what you've accomplished and achieved over the last few years in boxing.
At 17 years old, I won my first national championship. They refer to it as the U.S. Open. They have U.S. Open in all sports, tennis, wrestling, everything.
Wow,
and
something new today.
Yeah, and ever since then, I've been on what they call Team USA, and that's equivalent probably 7 years.
Now, what's Team USA exactly?
Team USA is Michael Phelps, Gabby Douglas, all the elite athletes from the United States.
Wow, and you went to do that?
Yeah, I'm very honored to be on Team USA.
Wow, okay.
But boxing has taken me around the world. Being a 16-year-old, 17-year-old teenager, you know, moving to Baltimore. I moved to Baltimore from Virginia, so going to these different countries. I've been to South America a couple of times, been to Europe, and I've never thought in a million years I would see the things that I've seen.
Wow, and this is a result of you going into the boxing program, the boxing industry. Okay, well that's great. So you also won some awards, right? You want to talk a little bit about that? I was going to ask you if you're any good, but I guess if you're winning awards, right?
Let's run down the resume. No, let me stop. Actually, I'm a 13-time national champion, a 4-time Pan American champion, and recently this year, one of my most proud awards that I received, I'm a world champion now.
Wow. Woo! Good for you.
I'm number 2 in the world. Should have been number 1, but you know, in boxing
That's okay. You've still got time.
Yeah, it's a lot of politics in boxing as well. I fought in the finals. I fought a girl from China, and we were in China. So, but you can go on YouTube and see the fight for yourself. You tell me. But I mean, God is good. I'm content, and this just helps me strive to get a gold medal.
Well, you know, and it's funny you bring up politics, because I was going to ask you about that. You know, do you feel that women boxers are treated, and I know the answer to this question, but how are women boxers viewed in the industry that's predominantly run by men?
In the beginning, it was, you shouldn't do this, you're a woman. But I think as time has progressed, especially with the debut of women's boxing in the Olympics and how well they did, shout out to my teammates Marlene and Clarissa, we've earned a lot of respect.
3, 2, 1, action.
So, as a female in the boxing industry, do you feel there's discrimination as far as just being a woman in general, and also the pay that women receive in comparison to men?
Well, in the beginning it was very lopsided as far as the respect aspect, but as time progressed, and with the debut of women's boxing in the Olympics this year, and I want to shout out Clarissa and Marlene and Queen Underwood, you know, those are my teammates. We've earned our respect. In the Olympics, the only people who did medal in the Olympics were the women. You have your lady.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, but the whole team is good. I'm not taking anything, but you know, we really had a chance to shine and show how far the skill has grown. Then you have your Layla Ali's, you have your Lucia Rikers, your Christy Martins. They were the people who laid the groundwork. They were knocking people out, and you know, but time has been on our side, and we have a lot of room to grow. As far as the pay aspect, I'm not a professional boxer. As an elite amateur, you know, it's illegal for us to get paid like the professionals. But I can tell you from speaking to some female professional boxers, it's not lucrative as it would be for a man. Like a man has a lot more chances to, you know, get that big payday. Layla Ali, she made money. I mean,
because
her father is Muhammad Ali, you know. But even you have some of the best boxers, and women put on the show. We fight. We have no reservations. We fight, and the money is not the same as a man's.
And that would be guys in the background, just so you know.
But it's okay. But you know, we still. I mean, for me, it's not about the money. It's about growing the sport. And when I came in the game as a babe at 16 years old, and I'm 20 something now.
Me too. Forever.
And you know, I've just taken on the role, just like the woman before me, taking on the role of being an ambassador and a pioneer and growing the sport. So the young ladies behind me, even some of the older ladies that's coming behind me, they have a chance to, you know, be who they
And
want
I
to be.
think that is really important. And so often we hear, you know, all these, you know, and I'm not taking anything from anybody. We hear, you know, the musicians when they win a Grammy, and all these people when they win the awards, and the $50 million contracts in sports, and the $30 million contracts in sports. And never once, you know, do I see any of these people developing any kind of community ties. You know, if you make $50 million this year, why can't you come back and establish, I don't know, a $500,000 fund at one of these Boys and Girls Clubs or PAL centers or boxing centers? You know, I mean, for Christ, excuse me, let me pick it up there. I keep wondering, like, why it is that, you know, we see these Cheerio boxes and they don't have the doctors on them and they don't have the nurses or even sports figures that are doing something active in their community. And so often I get, you know, I'm really jaded on that.
Well, I will vouch for some. You know, I use every elite professional boxer, 9 times out of 10 they have come through the amateur program. Oscar De La Hoya, and, you know, famous Floyd Mayweather. A lot of them do things behind the scenes. I will attest to that. Floyd Mayweather, he paid for a whole national Golden Glove tournament for the athletes. That goes back to the stuff that happens behind the scene with the people, the head people.
Okay.
You know, they develop those relationships, and it's up to them to keep those relationships. As far as me and the other athletes, our job is to box and win. So, you know, we're getting more like on the board, the decision making, but that's them making those relationships. If it goes sour, that's on them. If it goes good, that's on them.
Okay. Wish list. If you had one wish for your boxing career, what would you wish for?
Well, I'll say my goal was to be an Olympian, which is still possible, so I'm not going to wish for that. I'm just going to put the hard work in. For my wish in my boxing career, I would just like to be remembered as, you know, Franchon, the heavy-hitting diva. She was a all-around just good woman. Like, she was a great fighter, a good person to be around. I just want my legacy to be to just be I just want a great legacy.
Yeah, and I hear that about you. I talk about you to people, and I never once, you know, and of course I'm guessing if people are going to say something mean, they're not going to say it, you never know. But I always hear very good remarks about you, very good comments about you, always very positive things, and that says a lot for your life, even at a young age. I think that's
my
important.
word is my bond. My mom always taught me to keep your integrity and keep your word, because that will take you far. People, you got a dime in your pocket, but you say you're going to do something and you do it, and it builds trust. So that's all I want. I just want people just to know me as a great fighter, because I can throw the hands.
I know, I would not want to get on your bad side, right?
Hey, EMS something. Don't catch me on the bad note.
Right.
But yeah, I just want to be known as a great fighter and a great person.
And lastly, you got to see the world. Which country was your favorite out of all the ones?
No, I can't. All of them. I love all of them.
Actually, but you can only have one.
Well, I mean, I learned to speak Spanish through the South America. I have friends all over. I don't know. I think Russia. My first time outside of the country, when I went to Russia, they would call it. I had big blonde hair. You know, it's not a lot of African Americans. It's growing. Back in 2005, you wouldn't. Only African American I saw was these Nigerian people doing a documentary, and Crystal Waters, the lady saying da da da, random. Like, that's the only black people I saw. But
they like Russia.
Yeah, they showed me love. They said Janet, I sang for them. They called Whitney and bought a disco ball. It just opened my eyes, opened my heart, and made me want to do better in life and keep pushing. And I think that's one of the reasons why I've been able to be successful and continue to be a champion, even when I get knocked down.
What's up next for Franchon Cruz?
What's up next for Franchon Cruz? Getting ready for the U.S. Open, which is in March, late March, early April, and I'm coming back for my crown. I mean, regardless of what weight class I'm in, I'm going to be a champion, but I'm here to show the world. I have a goal. I'm going to beat the Olympian. I'm going to beat anybody they put in front of me. I respect everybody, but it is what it is.
Now, how do people follow you and support what you're doing? Or contact you if they want to do that as well? You
can definitely hit me up on Facebook. I have my fan page. It's Franchon, quotation marks, the heavy hitting diva Cruz. I'm on Twitter, which is at THEHHDIVA. That's at the HH Diva. And just hit me up there, and I'll get back to you. Just be respectful. Don't send me no love letters. I heart you, but I'm cool.
Okay, I had fun. That was fun. Thank you. That was our interview with Franchon Cruz. And stay tuned. We'll be back with more of the boxing business.
Sweeten the season with tailgate treasures and after-game treats. Fans will love mini football-shaped rice cereal treats created with cookie cutters and piped-on decorations. Or go for the big win version molded in a 1st and 10 football pan. Cover all bases with sporting fun cupcakes. Decorations highlighting various sports can be fielded in green icing pull-out grass. Customize with team colors and players' numbers on Jersey-licious cookies. The punch, cut, decorate method makes it easy. For more everyday celebration ideas, visit Wilton.com.
Hi, we are back with more Entrepreneur's Edge TV. I'm host Janice McLean, and we are talking about the boxing business. Here I have with me now from Blue Star Boxing is Keith French. Hello, Keith.
Hi, how are you?
Nice to see you.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Keith and I have been talking about the boxing segment and kicking this around for a minute, and finally we're here making this happen. So let's talk about Blue Star Boxing. What is that?
Blue Star Boxing is both a professional and amateur program. We are run by the Baltimore Development Foundation with myself, Tony DeLaurentis, and John Reeve, who make this possible here. We pretty much provide a sanctuary, I guess, for young men and young women in the neighborhood, and obviously outside the neighborhood. I've got a passion for boxing. I was a former boxer. I also trained some boxers, on a part-time level. But again, I think for us, it's more of a human nature, trying to help young men grow and young men grow in the world.
Yeah, which I think today it seems very important to have a lot of programs like that around. How do you find your talent and your students?
You know what? You open the doors and they'll come. We find, we have all types of guys, women, girls, men that come in the doors. Some of them are established pros that just want to change the scenery. Some of them are raw kids off the street. Some of them are tough guys on the street that need some discipline and some direction. Sometimes they're referred to us by school, teachers, guidance counselors, foster parents, and so forth. So there's a variety of talent out there. The boxing world really offers something that no other sport offers. It offers a sense of discipline that stays with these young men and women 365 days a year, which is important.
Okay, so I hear you mention that you get referrals from schools and different people in the community. Have you guys done anything to partner with PAL centers or the YMCAs or the Boys and Girls Clubs?
Actually, it's funny. We're working on some different partnerships. We've reached out to the Baltimore City government. As you may know, and you probably do already know, our great city council president, Jack Young, is very passionate about sports programs and recreational programs. I consider Jack a friend of mine. We've reached out to him and talked to him about, in this age of fiscal crisis and shutting down, PAL centers, shutting down after-school programs. I mean, we sit back in the suburbs and wonder why kids are shooting each other. So we have partnered up with some different types of programs to offer after-school activities for kids, some formally and some informally.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, we know what the problem is, we know what the issue is, but, and I'm even going to ask you this question: what solutions do you have? I mean, I know you guys are here and you're making it happen. Right. But sometimes it seems things get caught up in the red tape and something falls through the cracks and things close.
It's hard. I mean, look, we are self-sufficient. We don't get any monies from any government agency. There's no taxpayer monies that go in here. And quite honestly, I don't know that we take any monies from any of our members. We're here as a service.
Wow, that is really great.
Again, Baltimore Development Foundation is making it possible. We do a lot of work in the community on community development. There's a lot of other things that we do that I don't want to bore anybody with. Our business, our 9-to-5 business, but we have a passion for helping people, and this is kind of a way that we give back. We're fortunate enough to where one of the partners in the organization owns the building. We have leased offices on the first floor and the second floor here. We've had this gym for around 2 years.
Okay. So, if you guys had one wish, what would it be? You may not, have any wish list right now, but if so.
Yeah, you know what? If I had one wish, it would be a grand wish for all these kids and young men to prosper. And I don't mean just in boxing. I don't care if the record is 0-10 or 10-0. I want them. We want to offer them something beyond the boxing world. There's very few world champion boxers, but there's a lot of really good people out there, and we want to represent the really good people out there. So my wish would be that all these young men and women would prosper from the experience here.
If people want to find out more about your program or contact you to become part of your program, how do they do that?
We're located at 3201 Noble Street. It's in East Baltimore, in historic Allentown.
Okay.
21224-3201 Noble Street. We're here from 4 to 8 Monday through Friday and 12 to 4 on Saturdays. So,
Keith?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, guys, we'll be back with our closing interviews. Stay tuned. We are back with our final guest for our boxing business segment. And here with me I have Dorian, James, and Ramondo. And they're going to tell you a little bit about them before we go. So we're going to start with you, Ramondo. Let's talk about who you are and a little bit about your stats. I figured that out now. Yeah.
My name is Ramondo Elliott. I'm 3-1 with 3 knockouts.
One loss, right?
One loss.
Okay, good. Okay, I'm getting it.
1 loss, 3 knockouts.
Okay, and James?
They call me Keep 'em Sleeping. 18-0, 11 knockouts. I had 5 titles. February, I'm just trying to turn it up and do a lot more things.
Wow, okay. And Dorian, let's talk about how you arrived here. You're the one that we'll be picking on all night.
Yeah, I was a football player, leading the nation in touchdowns at Coppin State University in football. And making a crossover from football to boxing, which is a tough thing to do. And I'm an amateur. I'm looking to have my first fight next month. And I just want to give a shout out to my man James Hogan. He got a newborn on the way. He's not here with us right now, but he go by Ponytail. He's the president of USA Boxing in South Atlantic. He's the one who trains all of us amateurs and pro fighters. God bless. Good night.
Wow, okay. Well, these guys have impressive stories and they are great gentlemen, and I really enjoyed meeting everybody here today, and I hope that you enjoyed our segment. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. We'll see you next time.